Now we have been listening to IoT platform introduction in here. And then the next thing is that we would be building our own like an IoT platform. So actually NodeRED is rather practical for that kind of use because there are the nodes for the communication and then nodes for different kind of like the handling the data and so on. For the NodeRED, we would need the Node.js installation. And the Node.js is then installing the Python on the computer. So the instructions are on these files in here, this PDF file, and then we will test the installation a little bit within MQTT messaging. Then there is another file in here as well. I have written these files in English first. Maybe later I will make the translations in Finnish. It's faster this way that I write those in English first. I'm recording now, but I won't record the whole like an hour and a half session on how to make the installation. So we work together. So we open the files from here and then start doing the installation. And you can just ask if there is anything which is not going like planned, and then we will wait that most of you get the installation done, and then go ahead and gradually get the system working. Eli teemme niin, että tässä en nyt ihan kaikkea nauhoita seuraavaa 1,5 tunnin istuntoa, missä rakennetaan toi systeemi ja testataan se, vaan avaamme tuosta nuo tiedostot. Täällä on tiedostot englanniksi, ohjeet siitä, että miten askel askeleelta niin kuin asennetaan tuo järjestelmä. Tuskin sitä tarvitseekaan kääntää suomeksi. Mun on nopeampi kirjoittaa ne ensin englanniksi ja sitten mahdollisesti kääntää suomeksi. Mutta ei näiden järjestelmien kanssa kuitenkaan voi toimia, jos ei selviä englanninkielisestä asennusohjeesta, niin todennäköisesti jää pelkästään englanninkieliseksi. Eli tuosta ohjeita noudattamalla mä katkaisen taas tämän nauhoituksen tähän ja avaamme tuosta ohjeen ja rupeamme tekemään sitä asennusta. Asennuksen aikana saa esittää kysymyksiä. Jos siellä tulee jotain oleellista, niin mä jatkan sitä tähän nauhoitteeseen niin, että nekin, jotka katsovat tätä offline, niin saavat sitten vinkin, että mikä ohjeissa oli sellaista, että se käytännössä toimiikin pikkasen eri tavalla, pitäisi ohjeistaa tarkemmin. Eli näin, tästä ohje. Me asennetaan, so in English first, so we will be installing the Node.js, NodeRED, and then we will think about if we will use the Mosquito on our local computer or if we will use an existing Mosquito broker. Tässä asennuksen aikana voidaan yhdessä miettiä, että asennetaanko vain Node.js ja NodeRED ja käytetäänkö sitten jossain valmiina verkossa olevaa Mosquito-brokeria vai asennetaanko Mosquito myös omalle koneelle. Katsotaan. So we have installed in Node.js. So in the end of the installation of the Node.js, you get the information that type the enter to exit. So you exit the installation, and then you can just check that if it is installed there correctly by typing on the computer the Node version, npm version. So it is installing the Node.js there and installing the npm installer in there. And then we go to the NodeRED installation, and then there are the complete information on those links, but you can just follow my instructions in here. So you can work either in the PowerShell or command prompt, and there shouldn't be any problems. So, but it is, if you are in a computer with a username without the admin rights, it will ask the admin rights from you. It's important that you are on the computer anyway all the time as a same user, because the installation puts the information on the user folder. So then you install the NodeRED, and after the installation, you start the NodeRED. And then it gives you some information. And for example, you see you have the files are on the users, my name there, and NodeRED and settings.js. And also the NodeRED folder name is with the dot in here. So look at the details if you would like to go into that folder. And then finally, it gives, you can find from the script which is printing in here that where your NodeRED is installed. And then you go with the browser into that window. And when you click the link from here, or you just type on your browser the address, please note that you need to have the NodeRED running. If you type this address and the NodeRED is running, it just can't find anything in there. So you need to go to the command prompt or PowerShell and start the NodeRED by typing there the NodeRED. So after installing the Node.js, which installs automatically the Python, you install the NodeRED, and then you start the NodeRED on the command prompt, and then you get into that address, which was there on the NodeRED installation. It opens a page where you have some nodes on the left, and then you have probably an empty page, which looks like a paper. And then also in right here, it can look different than this one. It might look like this, or it might look like there's a debug window now open, or you can open a settings window and so on. I think it opens with the information button on. But then on my instruction sheet, there is later that how to get there this kind of working system. The next step in my installation is about the Mosquitto broker. But I think that we will not install the Mosquitto. It will be more interesting to work with our exercises. I mean, this online lesson exercise, testing the MQTT messaging. If we are all in the same broker, and we won't all be in the same broker if it is the broker on your own local computer. So that's why we won't install it. We will use either the test.mosquitto.org or one of the brokers we have at the HAMK servers. So we step over this chapter and go down to just a moment, testing the installation. So we again here instruct that you need to have the NodeRED running from the command prompt. And then keep that terminal window open. And then you get probably a NodeRED window will open a pop-up window on a guided tour. You can take the guided tour, but we can also have a look. If you don't take the guided tour now, we can have a look here that what to do next. So we will test our messaging, the IoT messaging with this kind of installation. And actually you will get this as a copy. So these nodes are part of the NodeRED system. We can import there more nodes than what are there in the basic installation. And then these flows here, or these diagrams in the center here are called flows. And then the flow is saved on your computer or in the node, actually on the NodeRED. Just a second. Yes, your local installation of the NodeRED. And then it is saved there as an JSON document. So it's a text document in a JSON format, which is defining that what is here on the flow diagram. And then on that flow diagram, I have a copy here. So if you take this text like this, copy it to the notepad to get rid of the extra invisible symbols. I think this should be then a clean text of the same one. The length of the line is a bit odd here. But anyway, then Control A and Control C. And then we go to the NodeRED. I'll test as well. I'll put here a new node, new flow. And then import there. Import. And the definition. There might be, oh, if that's the end of the line there. There is a syntax error somewhere. Oops. How to get rid of this? So we are still on the, let's say you are still on the empty page on here. And then on my instruction sheet, there was the installation information that just copied this flow. This is a JSON object here. But the copy here, if you copy it from here, it includes the extra enters at the end of the line or the line changing characters. And it's difficult to get rid of those because those are here on the text. So I went back to the NodeRED on my existing flow and made an export out of there, exported it as a JSON file, and then I put it on your course page. So it's in here on the course page after the instructions for the installation. So JSON file for NodeRED MQTT messaging. You click here, you get it on the download folder on your computer. Then back on the NodeRED, we go adding a new tab here for the flows, and then importing. Select the file to import, and you should get the same flow as I have. So I have two copies of it, but it's that one. I'm opening it in here, and then I get the nice looking new flow. And then I'll import that one. It tells me that some of the nodes already exist. So import the copy. Imported one flow, 7 nodes. So it made a new flow here, and it is exactly the same. And then you get it working by just deploying it. But I'm not deploying this one because this is exactly the same. And then I'm just double clicking here and deleting it because I already have a copy of it. So, of course, now after testing and trying to get there the correct flow and making some mistakes in there, and there were some mistakes on my JSON. If you copied it from the PDF, you might have like 2 or 3 extra flows open in here. So you just double click the flow name, and then you get the done, cancel, delete, and then you delete, and then it's deleted. And then to get this one working, you need to deploy or any changes you have made it. So you need to deploy. And it installed it like or get it running again. Mine is connected because I have everything set correctly for the communications and all. So if you got some odd nodes when you install the flow in here, that there is some node missing or something, you need to have a look on the left here, which nodes you got with the NodeRED installation. And then the nodes I have here are these common. Inject is the first one in here. So you actually recognize all these nodes by the color and by this small symbol in here. I have just written here true. It is originally the inject, so that I know that when I hit the button here, it just gives the true value in here. And then also like the debug here, I have just renamed it debug payload or the message payload. So you recognize those by the color and by this small symbol in here. And then we need the function. So that function is here. I have renamed it as a device payload. And then we would need this MQTT server environment sensor 1. So I have also renamed these, or the server might be the original one. Yeah, no, I have renamed this. So this MQTT server is the original, the MQTT out. And this environmental sensor 1 is the MQTT in. So have you got these under the network, please? MQTT in, MQTT out. So we can have a look on what is in here in each of the node. So in that one, there is the node information. And then there is the, how was it? Oh, is it the settings in here? No, that's not. Just a second. That's the inject flow. Yes, I need to double click. So that is my inject node. So I have the name there. I could put there any name there. And then I'm sending there on the message. Actually, this could be my injecting true, or just injecting true, and done. And then the name is injecting true. And to take the name to take effect, I need to deploy my flow again. But anyway, it's just working the same way. But okay, let's deploy it. And then successfully deployed. And now this flow is running. So injecting true is simply a name. And then I put there a message payload, which goes to the next flow. And I can put there, I think I can put there any, that's just a true or false. That's the payload. And I can create there a topic as well, but I'm not creating there anything. I'm just injecting the true value. And then you can also create a repeating pulse here. So selecting inject once after how many seconds. That would be practical if you are like creating a sensor here. I mean a simulated sensor, which would be sending information every 10 seconds or something. So we just write here 10 seconds and then, I mean, like this, that it would be sending every 10 seconds. But now we are not doing it at the moment. Oh no, this is inject once after 10 seconds. No, but then and repeating here with the interval. But no, we are not repeating now, and we are sending it immediately, not after any delay. I changed something back and forth, so I would need to deploy again. And then I go into the device payload. I do something there. I'm creating there the message which goes to the MQTT server.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Are we supposed to like do this simultaneously, or watch you do it and then try it?
I mean, I suppose you got this flow, did you?
Yes.
Have you got this node inputs? I think everything needs to be there, isn't it?
I'm not. I don't understand what.
I mean, if you double click the function node open,
Which?
I mean, if you double click that one, the orange one, you get this one.
But just 1 second. Yes.
Yeah, okay. I mean, then everything is over there. You can also just click around like I'm clicking around, no problem.
Yes, but okay, well, never mind.
So now you don't need to change anything in here. You don't need to, let's say, know the details in here. I'll just go through my flow, that what kind of nodes are in there. When you copy the flow, you also got the detailed content of each of the node, like this one. So we are not changing anything there. And then, for example, for the MQTT server, there are the server address and topic name and quality of service, retain false, and so on. And then that's the topic, and the payload comes from the earlier node, so from the function. And then these are for, I mean, these here are just for showing the information on the right here. So there is a debug bug here. And then when you click the bug here, so you can get the messages visible in here. So if I click the inject, but I think I need to deploy this first. Yeah, I click the inject. I got the debug here because I have the debug directly in here. So this comes injecting through, there is a function, and then after the function, I get the output out here to the debug window. Goes to the MQTT server, and then I have another node here, which is connected to the same server, and it's reading from the server. And then I have a delay of 5 seconds, and then displaying it only after the delay. I made the delay here that it's easier to like understand that it comes from this sensor. Only after 5 seconds it will print it. So injecting, there is the new message. It went to the server, comes from the server in here, and after 5 seconds, it's printing it in here. Right, that's the flow, and that's how it runs.